Alright, welcome to the best sports channel on earth. I'm your host, Quillysantana, and you're watching the Brands of Sports. So listen, man. Know the NFL season started. Know I'm an NFL super fan. So we back and we're gonna be covering a lot of the rest of the season. We're covering the rest of the season. So the first thing, hold on. Come on, calm down on Bill Russell. So listen, the first thing we covering, right, is are the Packers really that good? Like, I'm not gonna lie, the Packers been looking like a legit Super Bowl contender the first 2 weeks of the season. Mind you, the Detroit Lions just they just hung 52 points on the Bears. That's the same team that, let me see right here, that's the same team that's only scored 13 points on Green Bay. And I got it wrote down right here. Hold on. Let me read the total yardage. Against Chicago, Detroit had 511 total yards. I think they had 344 passing yards, and they had like 177 rushing yards. Against Green Bay, they had 271 yards. Let me repeat that. They had 500 total scrimmage yards in week 2 against Chicago. In week 1, Green Bay only allowed them to get 271 yards and 13 points. It had everybody questioning, was the Lions actually good without Ben Johnson? Was the Lions actually going to fall off a cliff? Were they actually going to be able to reproduce without their OC? Were they going to be able to score still? Were they able to still get explosive plays? Yada, 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 yada. Which I already knew that was going to work, because when you have a team like Detroit, I told my father this because he's a Bears fan. I'm from Chicago. My father is a Bears fan. Y'all know I'm a Patriots fan. He's a Bears fan. And them losing Ben Johnson, he thought that the offense would take a hit. And I didn't think that they would take a significant hit for real, just because of the fact that when you have a team as talented as the Lions, it's really hard to just fall off. Like when you have probably the best tandem in the backfield, the best running back tandem, you have a quarterback that is used to all his weapons. You have one of the fastest receivers in JMO. You have a top 5 receiver, especially when he can get positioned to have a mismatch every play because he's a slot receiver in St. Brown. We have a top 5 tight end in Sam Laporte, a great tight end. We have a great offensive line. It's too much offense to fail. Too many weapons to fail. The only thing that you need to go right is the new OC that you bring in. Just don't come in and do what the Eagles OC does. Runs kindergarten offense and does dumb shit. Other than that, you perfectly fine. There's no way you can fail because it's too much talent. Just too much talent. There's too much talent. Like, in Detroit offense has more talent than Philly's offense, because Philly doesn't have a double backfield. They don't have a Sam Laporte at tight end. They got the 2 receiver tandem. I think their 2 receivers are better, but I'm just talking about as an all-around unit. They don't have that. And Detroit does. So I've always thought, and I didn't really overreact to week 1. I thought it told me more about Green Bay than it told me about Detroit, because just on the fact that I still thought that offense was going to be able to do what they did, because it's too much talent. It's too much talent on one team for you just to fall off a cliff because your OC left. Because all we got to do is come in and run a similar scheme to what Ben ran, and we're going to be perfectly fine. You're probably not going to be as explosive as Ben's offense, but we're going to be perfectly fine. So let's talk about Green Bay. I think the biggest story, to be honest, with Green Bay is their defense. Because, like I said, they held Detroit at 13 points. They literally shut down Washington offense. Even though Washington offense was all right against the Giants, which is supposed to be a good defense, even though Dak just torched them. But I think the biggest story with Green Bay is their defense, because the offense is good. They're going to be good. They have a good O-line. They have Josh Jacobs. They're going to be able to run the ball. Jordan Love is very talented, so you get to play at. When you make things easier for any quarterback, when you make things easier for them, protect them, get a run game going, it's going to allow any quarterback to play above their stand, whatever you think of them, because it's just going to be so much easier. Because Matthew Golden hasn't really popped yet. I mean, if you go watch the tape, though, you can go back and watch the tape. Matthew Golden is getting open. It's not like Matthew Golden is not open and he's running the wrong routes or he can't create separation in the NFL or none of that. That's the problem. He's getting open. He's just not getting the ball. Jordan Love is spreading the ball around to like 8 different people. That's kudos to Jordan Love. So I feel like Matthew Golden could still be the Packers number 1. He just has to start getting the ball more, and then like you get put up the production. Like even last week when they played Washington, or this past week Thursday, that he had a touchdown that Jordan Love underthrew. That was a touchdown, and Jordan Love underthrew it. So I feel like they still got a number 1. They still got a lot of good pieces. I like Jaden Reed. I like Wicks. Christian Watson hasn't even back yet because he's still dealing with injuries. They got a lot of good pieces. I like. What's the tight end name? What's the tight end name? Crab. Yeah, Tucker Crab. Tucker Crab might be taking the next step. We might be talking about Tucker Crab slowly creeping into that top 5 tight end range. Like the way Tucker Crab's playing through these first 2 weeks is very impressive to me. But I think the real story is their defense, because they were a top 5 defense last year. And then you take arguably the best defensive player, especially if you're talking about young defensive player, because Miles and TJ are like 30-something. They're like 30. Like 29, 30 years old. Mike is like 25, 26. If you're talking about the best young defensive player, it's Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons is literally on a all-time legendary Hall of Fame trajectory. And for some reason, Dallas decided to trade him. I still have no reason, no clue. I still can't even find a reason why they traded him at all. I don't know why. I think it's one of the dumbest. I mean, it's simply just like typical Cowboys though. Like, if you expected anything else from them but dumb shit, then I don't know what to tell you, because like it was no reason. And I'm still confused on why did y'all trade them to the Packers? Y'all traded to an in-conference, literally since the beginning of time rival. Y'all traded them to Green Bay. It's crazy. I still don't understand. But they were a top 5 defense last year, and now you add somebody like Michael Parsons. It reminds me of when Khalil Mack went to Chicago in like 2018. They took that defense from a very good defense to like, oh no, they're elite. Because when you drop Michael Parsons on that defense, Ezra Cooper, Rashawn Gary, let me go to the rest of this team. There's a couple guys I'm missing. Quay Walker, let me see, Van Ness, all those guys literally get more one-on-one opportunities, especially Rashawn Gary. I think that the Michael Parsons move was literally a blessing from God for Rashawn Gary, because now Rashawn Gary literally gets to go one-on-one every single time that Michael Parsons is on the field. Every single time. They're never going to double team Rashawn Gary over Michael Parsons unless Rashawn Gary is getting a chip block. That's it. But now he gets to go one-on-one every single time. And this was exactly what the Green Bay Packers needed. It strengthens up probably their weakest area of their defense, which was the like 4-man pass rush. Now they don't have to blitz. Now they can play their zone defense. It allows Xavier McKinney to even probably get, well, he probably won't get more picks than he had last year, because they probably won't try him like they did last year. But if you go watch the first 2 games, the corners are sitting. Like, whatever the first route is, like when Michael's out on that field and Rashawn's out there, whatever, like, the first move you give them, they're sitting on. Like, they're breaking on it. They sitting on anything underneath, because they know, like, okay, we got Michael, we got Rashawn, listen, we got Cooper, Van Ness, all those guys. You're not going to get all day to run. Like, it's just not going to happen. You're not going to get all day to sit back, go through progressions. It's just not going to happen. They're coming. So they're just sitting down on anything. The first move you give them, they're breaking on it. And good luck if you have time for a double move. You might not even have time to even get a double move off on them, because like that pass rush is relentless right now. That pass rush is on one. So like if you even get time to be able to pull off a double move, you probably can get a big play. But they're breaking on everything. So that it helps the secondary when you have a great pass rush. It helps the secondary because they don't have to cover for 10 days. Usually a lot of teams that doesn't get pressure, it hurts the secondary, because when you can't get any pressure, then the DBs have to cover for longer than they have to. So, and then sometimes you get coverage sacks, sometimes you get pass rush sacks. So it goes hand in hand. And I think that's going to be the biggest key for them, because now they get to play in a way that they really couldn't play last year. Because even though the defense was a good defense last year, it was no fear. That no one feared Green Bay's defense. Like, no one feared their defense like you feared Denver's defense. They had the most sacks in the league last year. No one feared Green Bay's defense like they feared Philly's defense last year, with Milton Williams and Josh Sweat and Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith and all the guys, like Jordan Davis and Ojamon. None of all of them guys. You didn't fear that defense like you feared you didn't fear the Green Bay's defense like you feared those guys. A lot of those defenses, the Rams, the Vikings, and you feared those defenses because they could bring constant pressure. Green Bay had a great defense. I said the same thing about the Chargers. I love the Chargers this year. I like what the Chargers are doing. Only thing that's kind of worrying me right now is that the Chargers pass rush. Like, we get into a postseason game, a playoff game, can they generate enough pass rush on a consistent basis, like with a 4-man rush? Because the way they've been getting a lot of stops too also is that their D lineman has literally been watching J.J. Watt film. The Chargers D line have been watching a lot of J.J. Watt film, because they jumping up and swatting every ball, no diddy. They jumping up and swatting every ball, no diddy, man. They getting their hands in the passing lanes and knocking everything down, and that's been helping the Chargers defense a lot. Khalil Mack also did just get injured tonight, so I don't know what they're gonna do to help that pass rush. I don't think they have there's no more Joey Bosa, so I don't know what they're gonna do about that pass rush. During James was literally getting sent as a pass rusher a lot after the Khalil Mack injury, so I don't know. They're gonna have to use Duran as a real Swiss Army knife, but that was what they lacked last year. Was that no one feared that defense. You didn't fear it, like the Texans defense. When you play Houston, you know they got Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. coming off their edge. You fear those guys. Like, those guys is coming. This allows the Green Bay defense to play more aggressive, to play more fast, and they're going to be feared now. When you play Green Bay, especially in Lambeau Field, they're going to cause a lot of ruckus, because Micah literally opens up, and you can move him all across the line. You can use him like how the Giants are using a dual Carter a lot. He can play DT. You know what I'm saying? You never know where Carter will be. Same thing with Micah. You never know where Micah's going to be lined up at. Never know where he's going to be lined up at. And that allows you to do a lot of other stunts. That allows you to sit a blitzer here, through the C gap, through the B gap. You never know, because so much attention is going to be drawn on Micah. You can use Micah as a decoy. And you're never going to be like a coach that's just like, okay, we're going to worry about this. Because if Micah comes through free, that's going to be the main thing that everyone's going to be talking about, is how could you let Micah Parsons go one-on-one or just run free to the quarterback? That's dumb. Like that. So you're never going to do that. And that allows other guys to like go to work. And then now they can become a real defensive-minded team. Run the ball, Josh Jacobs, and all that. This you can kind of use Jordan Love, how the Chargers kind of use Justin Herbert. You can play action, run the ball, make a couple throws out of shotgun, let the defense do what they do, and like that's a great formula to win games in this league. And I think the Green Bay Packers are a legit Super Bowl contender now. just simply solely off that defense is really going to cause problems for people. Only thing that worries me is that I don't know if I trust the corners. I think that corners is like Nixon. I don't really know too many of their corners for real. Valentine, you know what I'm saying? Valentine. I'm kind of shaky on. I think they like Green Bay should be somebody that should go sign like Stephon Gilmore or something like that. I don't really know about the corner situation. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I trust their corners, because then you might get into situations where we just go play action. But they're a zone team, so that's the thing though. They're a zone heavy team, so like it's not gonna be a lot of man to man for you to just pick on their corners. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna be man to man, and like that's what I'm saying. The addition of Micah Parsons, it just makes this defense so much better, because now the zones, all guys gotta do is read and react. Just break on anything that you see, anything that's quick that you see, just break. Because we're gonna play a lot of zone, we're gonna play a lot of cover two, like the Chargers. It just reminds me of the Chargers. Their defense literally reminds me of the Chargers. We're gonna play a lot of cover two. We're gonna play some cover one robber. We're gonna play some cover three, cover six. You know what I'm saying? Where it looked like we're gonna do. That's why I said, and that's why I brought cover four, cover one robber. I know a lot of people gonna say that's not zone, but that's the wrinkle. Like, we're gonna run cover two, it's gonna look like two high shell. We're gonna run cover six, it's gonna look like two high shell. We're gonna run cover four, it's gonna look like two high shell. Probably gonna run like quarters. You know what I'm saying? Have the corners in the squat zone. You know what I'm saying? And then we're gonna throw in the cover one. So now that's where it's gonna look like a two high shell, but we're gonna have on the safeties playing robber. It's gonna be man to man. They ran that a couple times on Washington Thursday, where like, Jaden thought that was gonna be open, and like, oh no, it's man. Like, it's in the middle of the field. It's a guy trying to lurk in the middle of the field. So, man, I ain't gonna lie, that defense is crazy right now. That defense is elite. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's definitely gonna be a top 5 defense. In my opinion, the top 5 defenses in the NFL, particularly right now, probably Green Bay, Denver, Houston, Baltimore probably gonna be. Baltimore usually starts out slow. The last couple of years, their defense been starting out slow, and then like as the season go on, they kind of ramp up. They did that last year. It was terrible, like the first 8 weeks last year, but then the last 8 weeks they went on a run. And I told you I'm a Patriots fan. I think the Patriots are gonna have a top 5 defense this year. That's my hot take. I think the Patriots are gonna be a top 5 defense in the NFL this year. They already had the most sacks in the NFL. Harold Landry's been going off, but it's not a Patriots video. It's not a Patriots. It's not a pass video. We're gonna stay on the Packers. Next biggest question is Jordan Love taking that leap? I don't know. Like, it's like I gotta see some more. Like, I gotta see some more, cause I don't really think the story is about Jordan Love. I think it's more about that defense. Like, I'm not saying nothing too crazy, like no game control. Like Justin Herbert, I think Justin Herbert is taking that next leap. Like these first 2 weeks, I'm putting it out there. I think he's taking that next leap. The game control, they'll just pump fake the seam, just dump it off. You know, take the check down, and it's also opening up the check down to get 2-3 extra more yards by you pump faking the seam or pump faking the deep dig. You know what I'm saying? The 10 yard in, just to take the check down. Like, not forcing it, being just knowing where everything's aligned. I think Justin Herbert's taking that next leap. I don't know if Jordan Love, my straight J-Lo. I don't know if J-Lo taking that next leap right now. Either give me to about the trade deadline or about 3-4 more games. I can see what he doing. But I think the Packers real. I think they're real. really just good on the defensive end, other side, defensive side of the ball. I think that's what's going to carry them to they literally can end up in the NFC Championship game. I am going to have some. I should do some NFC rankings. I do have a segment, Brain Array, where we're going to do the top 10 teams. So y'all can be looking out for that. Oh, where the Packers land, man. Yes, that's it for this video. I think the Packers are for real. I think that defense is elite. I think J. Lo is starting to really progress and turn to that quarterback that the organization knew he could become when they took him, and everybody had an uproar. Matthew Gold, they just need to give him the ball. Keep feeding Josh Jacobs. You know what I'm saying? And Jordan Love just need to keep the ball out of harm's way. Yeah, man, that's gonna wrap it up for this video, man. Green Bay is elite, probably. Just check out my top 10. You're gonna see where I got Green Bay ranked, man. But that's all for the video. Thank you, man. Subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share. We got more content on the way. Peace.